Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we are out at the big Dysphoria rally in central London and we're asking people a few questions. And really one thing I want to find out is, do these people actually know what a woman is? And what is their attitude to children in all of this? So yeah, we're going to find some people and ask some questions.
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Okay, close you up. You guys?
Yeah, sure. What's it for and what's the crack?
Well, basically we're coming here to find out what's going on. So what are you guys down here fighting for?
Down here just in solidarity with our trans brothers and sisters. It's a crap time in this world to be trans. Your rights being taken away and such like. And yeah, there's no pride without, well, no LGBT without the LGBT. So.
And can I ask, what rights are you fighting for today?
Well, bodily autonomy, the right to present as you wish, to identify as you see fit, access to healthcare. We see like trans sort of healthcare systems being sort of broken down and split up. We see things like the Tavistock sort of being relatively shut down and then without any new sort of decentralised hospitals available at the point of the hospitals being shut down. So like equity of access to trans healthcare, yes.
And what sort of healthcare do you mean? Do you mean the sick changes?
Yeah, so I mean access to hormones and if required, then gender reassignment surgery if that's what someone needs, not that defines someone's transness. And what is this for, sorry?
We're trying to find out what people...
Yeah, no, what's your page though?
Resistance GB.
Resistance GB, and what is that?
We're journalists, we come out, we cover different protests,
okay,
we covered some of the Kill the Bill, some of the climate ones. So
okay. Oh, no, that's cool.
Basically, like my personal opinion of this, like I don't really understand any of this, so I've come down
Can you delete
on a fact finding.
Please. I don't know if this is is this trans positive?
Positive?
Trans positive or no?
Dora, wait. Dora? Well, the whole job is for us to question. Okay, I can't interview people if... We can't do this, come on. Give us a second, guys. Okay, so am I meant to press Like that? Is it okay if I interview you?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm coming down here today. I'm talking to people to try and get their perspective on everything. Can you say, what are you down here for today?
This will be like my first Pride event ever, so I decided to show up for the trans girls.
And so people are fighting for the idea that men can become women and women can become men. Do you believe that men can become women and women can become men?
I mean, yeah, I do.
How?
I mean, as they wish. I feel like everyone should be allowed to express themselves however they feel. And yeah, I don't really see a big deal with that. Yeah. It's very hard to answer the question of how, because like there isn't even really one set way to be a woman or be a man. So whatever interpretation that anyone decides to take on those roles for themselves, they are free to.
I understand in terms of roles, and everyone has a right to express themselves freely, and people have always, people should have always had that right to express themselves however they want, so long as they're not harming anyone else. But when you say interpretation, isn't it down to chromosomes?
I feel like the conversation of sex and biology and gender is, I mean, from scientists themselves, it's a very nuanced conversation. So if we were to reduce it down to chromosomes or reduce it down to sexual organs or whatever it is, that's just a really reductive conversation. Yeah.
Well, how do we know who is a man and who is a woman then, if we don't know what is a man, what is a woman?
I mean, I feel like we've already established that gender is a social construct. So I really don't see the point in answering that question, if that makes sense. But yeah.
Okay, right, yeah. Well, thank you very much. Do a nice day, man. Okay. So, still plenty more people here. The protest seems to be moving quite slowly. Hey, whereabouts are you in the square? What was that? Oh, okay. I just looked where I left you. You were just, Oh, there you are. Right. Okay, right. Beautiful. Right, I'm going to go interview people. Do you want to hang around and keep an eye out? Make sure I'm safe? Okay, you're now deputised as my security. Hello, sir.
Hiya.
Are you here for the protest?
Well, no, I'm not actually. I'm just up here for a concert, but I'm just taking in the atmosphere. I've got a daughter at home. She's 18 next month. She's very proudly lesbian and has days when she feels she's not female, and we embrace that. We've got a slightly older daughter who is asexual, and then I've got an older son who's also bisexual. So there is very definitely a big rainbow over our house, so I'm embracing all this. So it's great that people are getting their voices out there.
Well, I've got to give you credit for the Iron Maiden, and I've got to give you credit for the Welsh flag, like my ancestors come from South Wales.
Well, I'm originally from Devon, but I moved over there nearly 20 years ago, so I think I've been taken under the fold as being Welsh now.
Repping the Principality.
Exactly.
So we're coming down here to sort of ask, basically, you know, people are saying that gender is now a social construct. We're trying to ask, what does that make a man? What does that make a woman?
Right. I think if you asked me a few years ago, I would have been what you'd possibly class as being on the very right-hand side of the political spectrum. That, you know, you're either male or you're female. But having witnessed the struggles that most of my children have had over the past few years, not only trying to come to terms with how they feel with themselves, but then how they feel within the wider community, I just think, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah. Go, it's fine.
Just let people fucking be what they would be, as long as they're happy and nobody's getting hurt. What is the problem? We're too advanced as a human race anymore now to be able to just say you can't do that because that doesn't fit into a specific social norm.
Well, is anyone specifically stopping someone from going out and wearing what they want? Like, people have always worn drag for ever, basically. It would have been more sort of closeted, but you've always had people wearing drag, going under female, males going under female names.
I think generally it's becoming more accepted, isn't it? But there are still certain areas of society that, and as small as they may be, they do make themselves incredibly vocal, that ruin it for everybody. And you've only got to look at the way things are going over in America and stuff like that. You know, certain laws are being changed, and you know, it's a tough time in certain places still to be under this sort of LGBTQ+ flag.
Well, are you concerned about how you've got children who
Yeah.
are within this sphere? Are you concerned how this is being pushed towards children and promoted?
Personally, I'm not, because my children are old enough now. They're all incredibly independently strong-willed, and I'm immensely proud of them. And they know in their head what's right, what's wrong, all the rest of it, and they've all got a good, strong circle of friends who are all within the same sort of sphere, and they all look out for each other. But you've only got to go online in certain areas online and stuff like that, and you can see that there are certain elements of society that are trying to push back, saying, you know, you can't use that toilet because you didn't used to be that. Maybe that years ago you didn't used to be, but they are now.
Are you concerned of with biological men being in, say, with little 7-year-old girls in a locker room or something like that, in changing room at the swimming pool?
I'm not concerned per se, because once again, it's that thing that there is always going to be that small, tiny minority there. There's always the possibility that somebody may exploit that, and that's human free will. You can't ever legislate against that. But at the end of the day, most of these people here, they just want to live their lives, and they just want to live their lives in a way that's comfortable to them and allows them to live how they want to live. And they're not out to go into public toilets and stuff and interfere with people and stuff like that. They're just out to go to the toilet and get back out again, or get changed and go swimming and get out again. That's all they want to do, and they want to do it in a way that they feel comfortable with. And I don't think it's fair that there's certain people that are still trying to say, well, I'm not comfortable with it. You're not comfortable with it because you don't understand it. You haven't got to go through it. So once you walk in that person's shoes, maybe you feel a bit different.
So what do you think is the right age to sort of bring this sort of stuff up with kids?
Nowadays, I think it's something that should. Obviously, really young kids. It doesn't mean it just things like this. They're just sort of, it doesn't go over their head, but they just like accept it. You're being nice to me, everything's fine, I agree. But I definitely think in sort of the later years, before they get to sort of junior school age, or in the primary school, it's definitely something that should be introduced to them as this. It's not so black and white out there. It's
about sort of 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, definitely. And do you know what? People have gone for decades talking down to children, thinking that they're just stupid little things that don't know anything. Well, yeah, they don't know a lot, but the capacity to learn is enormous.
Children are sponges.
They are sponges, and they can learn a lot quicker than you or I or anybody else in these bloody big fancy offices down there in Downing Street. So,
definitely faster than the people in Downing Street, I'd say.
Give them a chance. You will be surprised at how much kids will be like, okay, fair enough. Seems like a nice person. I don't care what they're wearing or what's up or down. I don't care. As long as they're nice people, everything's fine.
Right,
and
yeah.
Majority of these people here, well, from what I've seen, they all seem to be nice.
Right,
They're
yeah.
all smiling, and there's no nonsense and fuss going on, and everyone's enjoying themselves. Just let the clouds bugger off.
Yeah, it is bad weather. Well, anyway, do enjoy your concert.
Oh, I'm done here, mate.
And have a nice day.
And you. Take care.
Okay, cool. Go in the bag. There's a hoodie there. Go on, grab them. Okay, cool. It's okay. I know this is quite distressing. I know it's distressing. I know. They shouldn't. I know. But we need to go and report on this. We need to tell people what's going on. Okay? Do you wanna take a break? Okay, I'll go speak to some more people. Do you wanna go sit down somewhere, okay? Yeah? Laura's upset by a lot of, it's very distressing what these people are saying relating to children. I am giving it a hug. I know. Good. Do you want to come
Oh
on?
God, I'm standing in front of a conversation like this.
Then take a seat, and I'll come and get you. Okay? Okay. Look at me. Okay. I'll be back. Come on, let's get you sat down somewhere. Come on, let's get you sat down over here now. Well, actually, come on, let's just walk along. Let's walk along. Okay? So, one of the reasons we're doing this, usually we cover cases related to freedom, and I guess this is, well, this isn't a case necessarily directly related to freedom, but I think indirectly there is the aspect of how this affects children. And we are going to be asking people questions about that. Right. There's a lot of them out today. I'd say maybe probably 5,000 or more. They managed to fill up a lot of Trafalgar Square. Alright. Okay. It's gonna be okay. No. Do you want to sit down? What? I know. Well, we need to report this to people, what's going on. And show that there are people out here.
They just lie. Every word that's coming out of their mouth is lies. How can they say no one's getting hurt?
Come on, we got to go in it. Are we going to go and report on it and let all people know what's going on? Okay, we're going to go report on it. Right. Do you want to stay here by this bollard for a little bit? I'll go hunt some of them down. You want to come with me? Do you want to put on a hoodie? So you're not just crying constantly behind me? Okay, that's going to make the interviews a bit strange. Okay, lots of people are sending you support in the chat. Alright there. Is it okay if I interview you?
No, I'm not really comfortable being interviewed right now.
Alright there, man. Hello there. Is it okay if I interview you? Oh. Is it okay if you take the mask off so I can hear you?
What's a cold? It's not COVID. I've got a cold, but it's not COVID.
You've got a cold, but it's not COVID. I'll survive, don't worry.
I'd rather keep it on. Just...
Okay, so do you want to... Why are you out here today then?
Well, I think it's about representation. It makes me feel like, you know, I'm not alone. It makes me feel like, well, it's right to be me. I'm not some kind of outcast. I'm not like a weirdo. I'm just a normal person who's trans.
Okay.
And there's loads of people who are trans, and it's not something that should be shamed. It's trans pride, basically. It's like I feel supported by this.
And what does trans mean to you?
It means controlling your own hormones and presentation in a way that you feel naturally comfortable with. It's also a social thing because growing up and even now, people who have different, you know, presentations have different like traditional treatment, but I want to I like gender neutrality because I don't believe people should be, you know, put into boxes. I just want to be myself, basically, and this is what this is.
So you're saying you're not a man and you're not a woman?
I'm a man.
You're a man?
Yeah.
Okay. And what is a man then?
Well, whatever you define it. Like some guys paint the nails, some guys don't. For me, I just
Okay.
I think it's a bit sexist if I just say, oh, you have to do it this way,
Okay.
I'm really sorry to interrupt, but we don't want to get people separated after the march. I
understand.
March.
Right, yeah.
So if you do, then yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to finish off by saying what I say doesn't reflect what other trans people think. Like, I have different opinions, everyone has.
We're quite worried about getting separated. Yeah, that's all right.
How you doing, buddy?
All right.
You know Indy, didn't you?
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah.
And I don't. Do I know you? What?
You've met me once.
I've met you once
met me
before.
once.
Which channel am I on right now?
No, I'm not gay.
Oh, okay.
No. Are you going?
I am live, I'm afraid.
Okay. To plod or not to plod?
To plod or not to plod? And may I ask you what you think about today so far?
I think it's a very interesting one. As you know, that's the same reason why you're up here as well. And I think it's interesting not just getting people that are a part of the march, but also the actual workers in local shops.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good angle.
So yeah, so I've sort of spoken to a few of those guys, even the actual road workers over there as well. And I think it's worth, because I think one thing that people are scared of is listening to both sides of the story. And unless you get both sides of any story, you have no story.
Beautiful. That's actually really good. All right. Well, shall we?
I'm actually going to go that way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to be joining a bit later.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
No worries.
All right. Oh, sorry. What is JKR? Oh. All right, guys.
Hello.
Is it okay if I ask you what's JKR?
JK Rowling.
Oh, okay. So do you want to explain what's that's about to everyone?
I mean, sure. She's transphobic. She wrote Harry Potter. That's about it.
What is transphobia then?
Yeah, all right, thank you.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Most people in the country see this for exactly what it is, okay? It's okay. Come. Just step aside for a second. Look. Do you want a drink? Let me take this up.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't need any help from you guys. Alright, take care, yeah?
Alright then, man. Hey, is it okay if I interview you? What's brought you out today?
I'm here for Trans Pride in London, yeah.
And what does that mean to you?
It means quite a lot, because my partner is trans, so it's important that we fight back against the current narrative that's dominant against trans people in the UK from the government and the media. And I think it's important that we show that transgender people just want to exist in society, and that there is still a long way to go before we achieve true equality for all LGBT people, but especially trans people who are particularly marginalised in our society, yeah.
And what do you need in order to achieve equality?
I think there's definitely a greater emphasis on healthcare for people through the NHS. There needs to be leadership from the government, law changes to recognise people's gender identity, self-identification, and there also needs to be a cultural shift to help people in the workplace and in society in general, yeah.
Okay, and some people have been talking today about hormone therapy and others and surgeries for kids. What age do you think that should be brought in? Because there was a recent High Court case that was sort of against some of this.
Personally, I believe that anyone has the right to self-identify, and people of any age have the ability to choose what healthcare options are available to them. many young people undergo surgery that is quite intensive and irreversible for various reasons. And I think in general, I think what we need to do is increase the access to mental health care and depathologise the pathway for transgender people in the UK, rather than just taking this kind of binary argument of yes or no. We should give people more support to make the correct decision that's relevant to them.
So any age, so if kids sort of, what would you say, from when they can speak and articulate, sort of 3, 4, 5?
Oh, I don't think many people of that age are very aware of their gender identity, but I think as people hit sort of puberty and become teenagers, they become aware of their sexuality and gender identity. And I think at that age it's very important that we support people to get the right healthcare that's relevant to them, yeah.
And are you worried about the long-term consequences of hormone blockers and also the surgery as well?
I think all of the relevant information is available to people before they take these surgeries. As with any medication, there are side effects. If you take paracetamol, there are potential side effects. So I think people taking this medication is the same as any other. And I think they're made well aware of the potential side effects beforehand, so yeah.
But do children have a capacity to be able to decide for themselves?
100%, yeah. Many children make many complex medical decisions about their lives without their parental input or without any kind of other input. So I think this is no different to that in some ways. And in the UK we have this kind of idea of like genetic competence, of people being able to make their own decisions, and legally people are considered able to make their own decisions, so yeah.
And can I ask, so you're talking about men transferring to become women and women transferring to become men.
Of course, yeah.
What is a man and what is a woman?
I think that's a very complex identity decision for an individual to decide. Not I can't decide that myself, yeah.
But then how can people affirm to a gender if we can't define it?
Well, I think that's the point. You know, you don't have to just be in this binary box of like, this is what a woman is, this is what a man is. In 2023, the modern age, you know, people can be a man and be effeminate, people can be a woman and be effeminate, people can be, you know, any number of ways of presenting their gender, so.
But what about, chromosomes?
Chromosomes?
Yeah.
In what way, for example?
Well, chromosomes, you've got XY for men, XX for women. You have a few people who are hermaphrodites who also have a different chromosome as well.
Of course.
But they're the exception, they're about 1 in 5,000. What about biological sex and talking about biological sex?
I think that's important too. I think I'm not trans, so I can't speak for the trans community, but I think that biological sex and gender are two very different things. And I think someone's biological sex might be an important conversation for them to have with their doctor, for example, when they're accessing healthcare. But otherwise, I don't think that's relevant to a general sense, no.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks. Cheers, man. What organisation are you from, by the way?
Resistance GB. So we cover different protests. We've been to some of the Kill the Bill ones, we've done some of the climate ones, and we wanted to come down to this. We were at Pride last week.
Oh, nice. Okay, fair enough. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Have a nice one.
Okay, you equate herself to sterilising drugs for kids.
Mass formation psychosis? It's okay, just us not being here isn't going to change the fact that these people are here and doing what they're doing. Could you roll me a cigarette, please? Oh, thank you. Cigarette. Not lovely. Okay.
Get the steps in.
Laura, do you want to talk a little bit about your assessment of today? Nope. Oh, could you post this on the Telegram, please?
Okay, I'll see you around.
Alright there, man. Would it be okay to interview you?
Interview me?
Yep.
What do you want to ask?
I want to ask what's brought you out here today.
Our friends, they are trans, they're in the process to feel being themselves and being accepted for that. And we are here to support them. And we also discover a bit about ourselves as well.
Okay. And so this is about men being able to become women and women being able to become men.
That's right.
What would you say is the right age to start talking to children about that sort of thing?
It depends on the way. I think there is no right age. You can start very early with, there can be children books where you can already start introducing to very small toddlers the idea about trans. And then when they get older and they are more able to have a conversation about it, then you can be clearer and more honest about the struggles.
Okay, right here.
Yeah.
And what do you, and in terms of the transition, what do you think a man is and what do you think a woman is?
I think I don't really like labeling, so I don't really I cannot really answer that question probably because I think there is no right or no wrong or no man or woman in a stereotypical way. So I think we're also unique and different.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And what do you think of the energy here today?
Last year it was amazing. I'm crying. I felt very close to my tears. This is my second time now. I've just arrived here. We arrived here. We will see how it goes.
Okay, right, yeah. Cheers. Thank you. Are you right there? Some people are coming and taking photos of us. I'm not sure whether it's because Laura is upset here, but she said she wants to forward on and keep interviewing people. What was it? We've interviewed a few people. Do you want to head back? You can get away from us. What was that? Keep going, okay. You can head off.
It's fine, I've got space, I'm not.
Well, then we can keep going and keep interviewing people. They do all have their eyes on us now. I would say it might be sensible if we take a shortcut and move to a different part of the protest. Yeah, we're going to take a side route. Alright guys, can I ask what you think of all of this?
No.
Do you believe a man can become a woman and a woman can become a man? You're right there. So can I ask you what you think of all of this protest? Ridiculous.
Why do we have one day for women in the year and a month for them? I ask you. 50% of the population.
It's a great point. Yeah, going round, give us some breathing space because it's a little bit intense over there. Excuse me, sir. Is it okay if I ask you what you think of all of this protest?
I've no idea what it's about.
So it's a trans pride protest.
Oh, okay.
And do you believe men can become women and women can become men?
No, absolutely not.
And what do you think about them promoting this to children? Because a lot of people have said that you can promote this to little children today.
No, you shouldn't. At the end of this, the trans women and trans men should have rights and should be protected, those rights. But they are not women and they are not men. They're a biological men and they're a biological women. And this is all wrong, I think.
Thank you very much. Alright guys, would it be okay if I ask you what you think of all of this protest going on here today?
Are you media?
Yeah, independent media.
What are you with? No idea.
Resistance GB. We're independent, we're on YouTube, Odyssey, Telegram.
That's it.
Okay.
So, I have no view, sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Have a nice day guys. Okay. Alright, moving away and then we'll try and cut through here. Give ourselves a bit of breathing space, see if we can catch a few more ordinary people as we go along. I'll try and sort out this wobble as well. There you go, there's that a bit more stable for you. You don't have to be sorry. It can be quite upsetting what they're saying, but you know they've got the right to speak and they've got the right to dress up. But it's important to ask people questions and see what the agenda is that's being pushed. Oh, of course you can. So they're just down there. I think what we're going to do is... Alright man.
Hello.
Can I ask what you think of all of this protest here today? This protest, so it's the... What do you think of this protest here today, saying that men can become women and women can become men?
It's both. It's both sides.
Do you think men can become women?
I don't have to say anything by it. I can see what happening. While I'm seeing it, they said, okay, stand up.
Do you believe it's possible though for a man to become a woman or a woman to become a man?
I never think about it. I can't think in my mind that what God had made, man can change it. It's not possible. You can improve your life, but become man inside of woman. God didn't make a mistake. It's not a mistake. He made a decision, man separate from woman. Now, if you want to be man in your body as a woman, that's your choice. So me, I don't have to think about it. I'm not there. So
I know. Well, thank you very much. Do have a lovely day.
You too.
All right, man. Hello, hello, hello.
Unless you're walking, you can't get out.
Ah, I am walking. I was hoping to come and interview you.
Oh.
Being as you're a black cab driver, I was hoping that you'd have an opinion on the protest that's going on down there. They're saying that men can become women and women can become men.
I have no opinion on that.
I do not have an opinion, or are you worried that if you express an opinion there'll be trouble?
Yeah.
You're scared?
Not scared, no, but there are far too many organisations that come after you if you express an opinion, whatever it is.
Right, yeah. Thank you.
Pleasure.
So we can cut through here?
Yeah, you can walk through, no problem.
Lovely, thank you. For those who are just tuning in, we've been speaking to some ordinary people a little bit away from the protest, and we are just cutting round to catch up with where the protest is going. Although we seem to have got, well, I know they're coming round to the left, so we'll find them one way or the other. Oh wait, I know this church, yeah, we passed it on the way. Right, we'll either go left or right, and that'll take us onto the main route that they'll be passing. It'll be on the other side of that church there, straight ahead. I can hear him in the background. I'm not sure if you guys can pick him up. Tell you what, it's a hot day today. Could you grab the drink out of my bag? It's one of the frozen ones, hopefully it will have melted a little bit. New journalist hack, frozen drinks. Keep you nice and cool on a hot day. They might be in the other section away from all of the electricals. It's interesting because I'm sure a lot of people have seen the documentary What is a Woman with Matt Walsh. Lovely, thank you. Ice drink. However, it's interesting to hear people say this in real life. Right. Oh yeah, straight through this alley. And we'll be back at the protest. Yep, there they are. We want to try and grab people who are slightly away from the protest. So let's see if we can grab these people. Excuse me guys, would it be okay to interview you? What's brought you out here today?
Sorry, we're a little bit stressed at the moment, but that is okay. Sorry, man.
Okay, that's alright. Have a nice day. And now we're back on the street in the middle of the protest, it seems. Hi there, is this Church of England?
Yes, it is.
And what do you think of all of this going past here today?
I think it's amazing. God loves everybody. The church should be inclusive. St James is inclusive, and we think it's a beautiful day.
And we've been interviewing people on what they say men are, what are women, what do you say a man is, what do you say a woman is?
People are people. Gender is irrelevant. But you shouldn't be about the gender, about which bits you've got. It's about the individual and who they are. and I don't think gender should be really.
How can a man identify as a woman or woman identify as a man if we don't know what those two terms mean?
I just think people can be themselves. I don't think it needs definition.
When God created Eve from a side of Adam, some people say it was a rib. There's a bit of argument to say it was a
my
side.
question back to you is, are you pro or con?
Pro or con?
Are you for or against?
Was it you who was interviewing last week?
I was interviewing some people last week, yeah.
Yeah, because you interviewed me as well, and I just abruptly stopped because I realised you were.
So, which side are you on?
Anti, not pro.
Well, I don't really believe a man can become a woman. I believe that you've got chromosomes, you've got XX, XY, you've got a few people who are hermaphrodites who have an extra chromosome. I don't have any problem with people dressing up how they want to dress up.
It's not about you. I don't want to be filmed.
So basically, I would support them 100%, and I know this church does.
And that's the Church of England, is that?
Yes.
Do you think that God made a mistake? One gentleman we interviewed said he didn't believe in this.
It was absolutely lovely to meet you, but thank you very much.
Is this in line with Christian doctrine?
Yes. As a Christian myself, absolutely, I'd say yes.
Right, thank you. Don't necessarily disagree with that chant. They're doing their ACAB. Alright guys, can I ask why you're out here today?
I'm trans.
And what does that mean?
It means that I don't identify as the gender that I was assigned at birth.
Did someone assign you a gender?
Yes.
And what gender was that, may I
I'm
ask?
not gonna, that's not something I feel comfortable disclosing, to be honest. Sorry.
Okay. And what do you believe a man is and what do you believe a woman is?
I believe that they're both social constructs because gender has been understood differently throughout different regions, throughout different times.
You don't have to answer these questions, by the way.
Of course, you don't have to answer any questions.
It's alright.
No, it's okay, it's okay. You don't have to. If you want, you can ask them to move along.
You talked about protecting trans youth. Can I ask what sort of age do you think it's right to start talking to kids about this? Okay, have a nice day then. Is it okay if I interview you, sir? No. Okay. So everyone absolutely does have a right to remain silent and not answer any questions. They are taking pictures of me now and appear to be circulating them. Is it okay? Can I ask what you think of all of this?
Fabulous.
Yeah, fabulous in a word, yeah.
Do you believe that men can become women and women can become men?
That's a whole different debate, but I believe everyone has the right to believe what they believe. So if they choose to, my opinion might be different to theirs, but I'm not gonna. If they're happy to do it, then have it on.
Are you worried about the way that some voices are being silenced if they come out in criticism of this ideology that men can be women and women can become men?
Yeah, I think everyone should have freedom of speech. No one has to agree with each other, but everyone should have the right to have the freedom of speech.
Right, Theo. Oh, thank you very much. Sorry. Oh, wrong hand. I should. Have a nice one. I know they are. Eventually there'll probably be someone who comes up to harass us. Sorry. But fundamentally, all we're doing is asking people questions, and they have the right, whether they want to be interviewed, not interviewed. They can accept, they can decline, they can talk to us, they can not talk to us. And we'll continue abiding by the law. Sorry. Frankly, everyone has the right to identify as whatever they like, it just doesn't make it real. That's my position, if anyone is interested in it. Okay. Get up. So, we've still got that guy moving within eye shot of us. So let's just move up a little bit more so we can get a bit of breathing space from the guy who interrupted our interview a little while ago. Just going past the Ritz. Only been in there once, but it was lovely. Yeah, because I think if we speak to anyone else near that guy, that he'll start moving in and trying to intervene. And I just like to speak to people without interruption. And 1 second. You alright there, man? Can I interview you? Alright there, guys. Would it be okay to ask what's brought you out here today? Interview you? Okay.
I'm not going to be able to say much.
Okay, so what's brought you guys out here today then?
For trans rights. Supporting them, coming on the march. Yeah, I can't say much to be fair.
And what sort of specific rights are you asking for? What are you focusing on?
Healthcare, just like general, just like, you know, like bathroom rights and stuff and all that. Sorry, I'm not good at this.
That's okay. And healthcare, that would include some hormone blockers
and HRT, surgery, you know, not having to go private, waiting lists being cut down, everything. Just more access everywhere.
Yeah,
easy
I know.
access for everyone.
The NHS.
Yeah, all of it.
Yeah, it's always in crisis.
Yeah.
There's been a recent High Court case that sort of came against the idea of having kids be able to get puberty blockers and different hormone therapies and surgery. What do you think of that? Do you what sort of age do you think is appropriate for people?
I started blockers when I was 13 and I don't regret it one bit. And I'd say if I'd started any later, probably I would have been upset about it. That would have been a nightmare. So I'd say start when you need to start. There's no proper, like, what's the word? Permanent change to blockers, so you should be able to do that when you want, just have space to think, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And what's the sort of age that you think you should first start talking about this sort of stuff to kids?
I mean, whenever really, it should be like open conversation all the time, like anything. It shouldn't be like anything that anyone should try and like hide away, you know. It should just be like you're chatting about any issue in society. It should just always be spoken about. And again, yeah, like there's like it's important conversations to have, and you've got to think things through. But like, you should be able to talk about it whenever. Off the top of my head.
Well, it's good. Like he said he couldn't talk, and he's able to talk. He's doing well. So
on the spot.
Yeah, we're wondering. So, what would you define a man as, and what would you define a woman as? What comes to mind for you?
I mean, I don't know. It's anything you want it to be, really. For me, it's just like I don't know. I think everyone has a different opinion of that in their heads. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a way to say it. Like, just I think for me, just being a man, it's just like being like comfortable in your skin and like being able to be open about your masculinity and just be like masculinity can be anything you want it to be. So as well as femininity, like be anyone on the spectrum.
And aside from masculinity, just looking at man and woman, what do you think about the argument about chromosomes from biology?
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't say I'm too educated on like the scientific side of chromosomes, but again, you know, I mean, gender's not like a biological thing, gender's a constructed thing, so you shouldn't have to go by like whatever science is saying.
And what do you think about the atmosphere here today?
Yeah, it's great, it's fun. This is my second time, so I came in like 2019 and it was like so much smaller, so yeah, it's mad to see it this big, yeah, it's nice. Got my friends here this time as well. Yeah. So yeah, no, it's good. I'm enjoying it a lot. But yeah, it's nice to meet you, mate.
Nice meeting you.
I hope that was right.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Next, you'll see him up in Speaker's Corner doing a speech. It's true, everyone is entitled to their opinions, and that's what we're sort of here to collect. We're trying to see whether this ideology exists outside of the internet, whether people believe in it, and how deep people are into their belief of it. I know this isn't necessarily a representative sample, but you do have thousands of people here, and I'd like to get it from the horse's mouth, really. Rather than all of the people at universities, you know? Yeah, a professor can tell you this or tell you that, but I think it's more important to speak to people on the ground. Or not necessarily more important, different. Speak to people on the ground. Alright lads, would it be okay to ask you what you think about all of this?
Not to be a pain.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Sorry.
It's not. We're camera shy people.
Oh.
Quite camera shy.
We don't even like doing videos for customers.
Oh, fair dues.
Sorry, mate.
A lot of people are kind of scared that if they voice an opinion that they'll get silenced or there'll be repercussions.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I don't have Instagram.
That's good. Don't be on Instagram. Good. Yeah, definitely don't be on Instagram. They're saying that the gentleman over there was hot. All right.
Like it's trying.
Do you want to talk?
No, we'd rather not. We're just trying to let people enjoy the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright there, would it be okay to interview you?
Sure.
Can I ask what's brought you out here today then?
Yeah, well, trans rights are kind of under more attack than ever before, and I feel like this is like a super important year to be at the demonstration and just show support for everybody. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And what rights are you specifically fighting for?
I mean, I don't really want to speak to, I think other people should speak to that. I'm more of an ally, so I don't think I'm the right person to speak to that, but I'm here because there's a lot of people that I care about that, are under attack on a very kind of deep level, so.
Okay, and we're asking people what sort of age they think it's right to start speaking to their kids about this sort of stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't want to put a specific age to that. I think, you have to be responsive to your kid and attentive to their needs and what they're going through at whatever age that happens. So once the questions come up and once people, you have to be receptive to that and be caring for, the person that your kid is growing into becoming, so.
Okay, right here. Yeah. And what do you think about the atmosphere here?
The atmosphere is amazing. The atmosphere is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, it was pouring down with rain earlier, but it's just smiles all around, so.
Right here, thank you. Right, I was going to do a few more interviews because this is going to wrap up in a bit. Okay. You alright there?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Would it be okay if I ask you what's brought you out here today?
Sorry?
What's brought you guys out here today?
To fight for trans rights in UK. Yeah. We are fully supporting and we just want some changes to have self-identification, for example.
Self-identification!
Yeah. Trans right now.
And is that the only thing that you're fighting for, self-identification?
Sorry?
Are you fighting for anything else?
For all trans rights and self-identification, I think it's a theme of this year's, but basically for equality for all the people.
Yeah.
Are people not already able to self-identify?
Not legally. So the legal way of self-identification. So this is what we fight for.
And in terms of that identification, can you tell us what would you define a man as? What would you define a woman as?
It's the spectrum. It's not something that you can define in that way.
Yeah, it's not that.
It's not binary. It's
like beyond the binary.
Yeah. And what do you think about the chromosome argument? You've got XX, XY, and then you've got sort of 1 in 5,000 people who are hermaphrodites who may have an extra chromosome.
It's not about it's what you are now describing. It's not
like how you are feeling.
How you are defining genders. this is not currently scientific consensus is not about that. It's also about your it's also about what you think and your psychological gender, and this is what we are fighting here now, because what do you describe as gender is mostly about how do you feel inside, and this is the part that is not described by the chromosome that you are talking about.
And in terms,
it's a part, but it's not a full picture. And we must go.
We gotta go.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Advantages for having a gentle home counties accent. What do you think of that, Laura? Look at that. Look, I've got a compliment from Murphy. You hate my voice.
I hate it. It's annoying.
Well, I think the people have spoken, Laura, and actually my voice is great. Thank you, Murphy. Right. I think we might get a little bit wedged in. I gotta say, the woman who's following us now seems very sort of chilled out and not intervening, just keeping an eye, seeing that we're not causing trouble. That's perfectly cool, man. We're not here to, you know, start fights or anything. So the woman who's following us seems pretty chill today, I think. It's a little bit loud there. I'm not sure we're going to get a good interview. We're going to have to wait for that big speaker to pass. Alright guys, is it okay if I ask what's brought you out here today?
Sorry?
Is it okay if I ask what's brought you out here today? What are you fighting for today?
Fighting for trans rights.
Yeah, it's important for inclusivity, and everyone deserves to be seen, and we're here to support.
Specifically, what rights are you trying to fight for today?
We're trying to fight for equal rights in terms of work, education, house system.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same as everyone else that has the rights supported and respected.
Yeah.
We need the same rights, basically. We're not asking for anything else.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And have you seen the recent High Court ruling that seemed to sort of go against the idea that kids will be able to get puberty blockers and hormone therapy?
Yes.
Yeah, we have. It's unfortunate, but I feel like this is something that we can do to show that we're in support, and like it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. So I think we're doing something right, you know.
And what age do you think is the right age for kids to be able to get these hormone blockers and puberty therapy?
I don't think that's up to us. I think it's up to the kids.
Yeah.
You know, kids know what they want from quite young, and they have ideas of who they are. And the more language, the more conversation there is, people will be able to come to a decision at whatever point in their lives, I guess. So.
When's the right time to start talking about this sort of stuff to kids and explaining?
You can talk about these things with children that are from birth until they grow up. This is not a new concept, this is not an idea that is negative.
Yeah.
You're literally just explaining them there is a possibility of being a different person from the norm, and that is accepted, and that is something that you can do if you want, but there's no pressure of anything.
Yeah, and I think it's less about telling kids who they are and more telling them what's out there and what is possible. So
you have the actual knowledge and intellect of actually being able to decide.
Yeah, so once the information is out there and they have access to it, they can actually decide whether or not they, you know, relate to it, and
that's how people recognize that they're gay. That's how people recognize that, if they're what religion they are. Like, why shouldn't gender be the same? Yeah.
Yeah, just to have the language to understand, if what you feel inside is actually something that is supported, something that is okay, something that is nothing negative. And once you're able to accept that what you're going through is something that is regular, then if you have the system supporting you, then you can make the right decisions. And in the long term, you will be able to understand that what you're doing is what it needs to be done if you have the support from the community and the health system as well.
And in terms of explaining what the options are out there, what would you define a man and a woman as to a child?
Whoever they say, like whoever someone says that they are, that's who they are, and that's it.
Gender is something very specific to the person. So to explain what is a man and is a woman would be to go to the societal norms of what it is. And then you have to deconstruct that to the children to be able to tell them that what the society is telling you that you is a man or is a woman is actually just a concept. It's not the actual reality. You can choose what you can make of it. There's cisgender people that they don't really identify what it is a man. There's men who find the pressure of being men too much for them, and women who find the pressure of being women too much, like childbirth and other things. So it's good to just give the options and then show them that they can choose, and there is no rigid way of doing it. It's more fluid.
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you think of the atmosphere here today?
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so nice to see everyone.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out today. A lot of people we know. Like we made some friends as well. So
it's gonna be
pretty great
talks as well.
Yeah.
Louis G. Barton organized the actual event and the parade, and everyone else is gonna be as well doing some talks. So I think it's gonna be really, really interesting to see.
Beautiful. Well, thank you very much.
What is this for?
Resistance GB. So we go out, we cover protests, we covered
BBC.
Not BBC. no. Resistance GB.
Resistance GB.
All the best,
Thank
guys.
you. You too.
Cool. And I think the camera's just overheated there, so we're going to need to swap out the battery. Let's see if we can switch in another one. We hold this for a second. I do hope we didn't lose too much. See what we got. I'm not sure how much we missed. I have to find out when I get back editing. It's all on the live stream anyway. Whew. Sorry, can you hold this again? Absolutely knackered. It's really, really humid today. It's rained, but it's still so hot. Yeah, alright. Alright, mate, nice one. Bye. Alright. Alright guys, would it be okay to ask you what brings you out here today?
Can't be bothered, sorry.
Okay. Alright then, would it be okay to ask you what brings you out here today? Fighting protect trans kids?
Yep, absolutely.
And
Sorry.
oh, hello.
Hi.
Do you want an interview?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't want you to interview people that are marching though.
Well, they've got a right whether they want to be interviewed or not interviewed. It's up to them. So, I mean, it's free choice. People have been making loads of arguments in favour of all the protest all day. Why is it you don't want people to be interviewed?
I don't want you asking them intrusive questions.
What would you define as intrusive?
Anything that people are uncomfortable with. Please.
Well,
me.
I mean, they can. Are you filming me now?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
I'm mocking you.
Okay. Well, people. I'm not necessarily asking people intrusive questions. They can say if they find something intrusive. I missed that other lady.
So I don't know how that's going.
She was actually pretty chill.
It's you, my guys, and I'm unbelieving. And help us today.
I've run. She knows. I've run every time.
I'm not sure whether I've given the minders the slip or not. Oh well, plenty of people to speak to. Guys, would it be okay to ask you what's brought you out here today?
Don't talk to me.
No.
I'm just asking people to give their own opinion.
No, that's alright, mate. Move on.
What's the matter? What are we doing wrong?
They're not going to talk to you.
Okay, we'll talk
They have a complete right not to talk to me, but I find it weird that you don't want people to be able to give their own voice and give their own opinion, because we're asking people questions and we're giving people the time to answer those questions.
Today's not the day.
Yeah, it's not the day for it, my friends.
Okay, I would say surely this is a political protest. People are asking for rights. People have told us what rights they're fighting for. They said they're fighting for medical rights, okay? They said that they're fighting to be considered exactly the same in the workplace. They're fighting for cultural change. That's what people have told me that they're fighting for. So surely if people are out here fighting for rights, etc., then they should be able to turn around and vocalise that. And if someone comes up to ask them questions, that this is literally the day. Like, what other day of the year is the day to speak to people about this? This is meant to be trans pride.
Every day. Today is just, maybe they're just getting through the day. Maybe they just want to get through the day.
But today is the day to come out and talk about it, and you know, this is a protest. Like, people coming out to properly demonstrate what their views are. They're coming out here to fight.
decide if someone has to answer your questions on the day.
I agree.
When you choose.
I agree. I'm just saying that I find it really strange that you're saying today, which is the day, wouldn't be the day. I think today is the day that people should be, if this is what you believe, people should be here and people should be speaking out about it. This is the day, this is the time.
You're okay to find it strange, but we're also okay to not want to talk to you. We don't owe you that.
You don't? Oh. Oh, the minders are back. I've now got a crew hunting me, so I think it's going to be quite difficult to interview anyone. Now they're following me. So Laura, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move quickly through this. Click off. We're being followed. And we're being filmed. So I'm going to move quickly through.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, sorry, Ness. Sorry.
Who's your kid?
David, we were genuine. We've got.
Well, my housemate, you were telling me about like how.
Come on, I
gotta get it redone. Wait, sorry.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Oh, sorry. Mea culpa. Sorry. Did you have it? Evan is a chicken. Okay.
I guess it's just, I'm trying to figure that out as well. Yeah. I think for me, I think it's different for everyone. For me, exploring on my phone makes me that's actually quite a lot for me. I don't think it's more stress.
Alright there. Would it be okay to interview you, to ask you what's brought you out here today?
I feel like you're better off interviewing someone else.
Oh, go on.
No.
That's okay.
Honestly, I'm sorry.
No, if I'm on my phone, I don't know, I'm just streaming content to where I'm.
Alright guys, can I ask you what's brought you out here today?
We're trans and wanted to show pride and march and shit.
And what does that mean to you guys?
Being transgender or showing pride?
What was that?
Being transgender or showing pride?
Both.
Well, guys, want to talk about Dysphoria? Okay. What about you? Sorry, what is like being transgender or like showing pride for? Is it me? Yeah.
Just not kind of like not being ashamed of who you are and feeling like you can express who you are in whatever way you want to and however you want to look, however you want to seem to other people, and having people respect that as well, having people like see you how you want to be seen.
And it's really cool here because there's that sense of community where we all kind of feel that same way that you don't get in just general society. It's kind of scary normally, but here it's
And I wanted to ask you guys about a recent High Court ruling. So there was a recent High Court ruling that seemed to go against those under 18 being able to have puberty blockers or hormone therapy or surgery. What do you guys think about that?
It's fucked up. Because
personally, I've known I was trans since I was like 13, and a lot of people that I know since then are younger. And it would have been really, really helpful then, because it was already hard to get a hold of them. It wasn't easy, because people make it out like it's super easy to get a hold of these things. It's not. I've been on a wait list for years for hormones, and it's going to be like 5 or so I can get them. And I'm 17, so that's really bad, because it's a leading cause of suicide in like trans youth, and it's fucked. Because also with puberty blockers, at least they are reversible. If you change your mind, you can then go through puberty as you move, and so there's no harm in it. It just helps euphoria and stops trans people from killing themselves.
And what do you think is the right sort of age? Where do you think the age limit should be, rather than what it seems to be going towards at 18?
I think it isn't it? 18 is at least like almost there. I don't know. I feel like it should be readily available, but there's an intense screening process already in place, which I think should be a lot more lax. And I mean, not super lax or anything. We should be sure, but. And also, I mean, I don't know. I don't think that should be that big of a thing about age.
And also, I mean, because like the waiting list is so long and everything, you basically like you have so many people will have to wait until they're after 18 anyway, because of just how long they have to wait. If you have to wait 5 years to get hormone treatment, and if you know you're trans at 14, you're still not going to get it until you're 19.
Exactly. Even if you know when you're 8, you still can't get those hormones for a minimum of 5 years, and then you also would have to wait until you're 18 with these new regulations.
And what age do you think it should be, and how long do you think the waiting period should be?
Well, with the waiting period, it's difficult because that's not up to anyone. It's just because of how many people want those hormones, and because it's through the NHS, so it's kind of difficult to get hold of. If you go privately, then it's quite expensive, but it's much faster. But then both of you and like parents would have to have a really serious conversation about that. But I think it should be person's own choice. With age, you keep asking, but it's difficult to tell because it's different for everyone. And I don't know what specifically should be in place as far as that goes, but I don't think having it set flat at 18 is great.
Thank you. And what age do you think you should start speaking about this sort of stuff with kids and explaining?
Because my parents have said this as well, and a lot of older generations are saying this, that if you start talking about these things, like the Don't Say Gay bill, if you start talking about these things at a young age, then you'll turn your kids gay or trans. That's not the case. It's just informing people about options or about other people so that they become more tolerant and not bigots. I think like as well as sex education, and around that sort of time, so maybe like 10, maybe even younger.
Yeah, and I mean, all it's gonna do if you teach kids about like what being trans is at a young age, all it's going to do is make them more respectful and understanding. And if the kid is trans, it'll make them feel like they belong, and it'll give them that sense of belonging and understanding. And I mean, I feel like if they're able to understand it, then then they should be taught about it. It can't hurt anyone to be able to either empathize with other people or be able to understand yourself more and not feel like you're weird or different and that you don't belong.
I didn't find out about like trans identities for a really long time until like I got ready access to the internet, because they didn't really teach it to us in school. That wasn't part of the curriculum. And once I found out about it, I was like, oh my god, that's me, that fits. But it would have been, I think, better for me if I had figured that out sooner, so I could feel like I could know why I didn't feel like I fit in.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Oh, how's the atmosphere?
The atmosphere, it's amazing. I mean, yeah, there's no way to describe it. Yeah, I mean, you're surrounded by people that you know or like you and accept you, and that's something that can be hard. It feels like it's hard to find.
I want to just go up and talk to everybody. I won't, but like I want to.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys.
No problem.
Man, it's so hot today. absolutely boiling. I think we're going to need to just take a short break for a bit. Well, you should stop just a little bit, if that's okay. So, what are the opinions of people in the chat? Oh, do you have that? Do you give me back the tobacco? Okay. Sorry, could you hold this? Sorry, I want to kind of keep it upright so people aren't just staring at some grass. So sorry, we're taking a little pause here for 5 minutes. It is hard to deal with the humidity today. It's just hot and muggy. People are saying leave the kids alone and stay out of women's spaces. People are saying delusion, oxygen thieves. People are saying they don't care, they're only concerned about children. How many do I reckon turned out for this protest, tobacco? I think they've got thousands. Maybe, I'm thinking maybe 5 to 10,000. That's just going off the top of my head. They've got a lot of people out here. But for the prevalence of their message, I don't think it's necessarily an insane number. I've seen much bigger freedom rallies, so it's not infinite. However, how can you donate? We have a Subscribestar, so if you find us on Subscribestar, we should have links on the channel, and you should be able to go on there. I think they're still open because we haven't been doing much for ages, but if you want to do a recurring thing, that will help support us month to month. Although we've got a few bits that we're going to be doing that are a little bit away from YouTube, but we've got a lot of footage now to edit down. Paid to attend. I don't personally think that people are, or many people are being paid to attend. I think this is less AstroTurf than something like XR, in my opinion. That's my opinion. But from what I can see, people have created their own banners, their own placards. In terms of AstroTurf, obviously this is being pushed in the mainstream media, so I would say it's AstroTurf in that regard. However, I wouldn't say that people are just being paid to come out here. I mean, I assume, and this is me assuming, that the minders that we've had following us around, we had some nice ones, but we also had some less nice ones who were like more North Korean style. Laura there, David's Cafe is asking how you feel. She says she's just not looking anymore. Well, yeah, I mean, you know, of course I'm blending in well. You haven't seen it, but clearly I'm just wearing my Borat mankini, and no one notices. That may or may not have been misinformation. Someone's asking about Katie Hopkins. I don't know what's happening with Katie Hopkins. She's probably on Twitter or Gav or something. I've got no clue. People are saying that it's the fault of the parents. People calling it cult. Someone said the born lesbian is hunting down pretty girls. I mean, if I were wearing a mankini, that would be. That's a little bit more. I don't think I could. I'm afraid. I don't think I could wear a mankini. Yeah, go on. I can hold it. But so, what else do we have? Any other questions about today that people would like me to answer? Something that we might not have captured? My heart goes out to you, Carl Stenbeck. The image of me in a mankini will never leave you, Andy. Well, we haven't met any BBC staff, but I wouldn't be surprised if we met some. Are women allowed to wear mankinis? But the Dutch Eve, what is a woman? What is a woman? Like, how can you know? I think he gave up right at the start. I think Jim bailed right at the start, just before we started, because we went round trying to find Jim. You want me to go find a copper? To be fair, they're not really going to say anything, I expect. Yeah, it will just be one of those. You're welcome, Carl. To the Rocket Pub later. Oh, it's a Friday, isn't it? I actually have a lot to do. Oh, I mean the meet-up, the drinks. I am afraid I can't make it this week. No, I can't make the drinks tonight. Well, I'm more concerned about Julian Assange with regards to Keir Starmer. And although, to be fair, I would actually probably ask him a question as well if I had time. That would probably get us super blacklisted again. The Great Awakening YouTube channel, I don't know about. Wait, I think I have. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think I have. I don't know. I think that James Lindsay, if you guys have heard of James Lindsay, New Discourses, you can find a lot of stuff explaining what's happening now. And if you look into Gnosticism and Hermeticism, you can find a lot about it. Ray Ray is saying that he's starting to feel like you, Laura. How dare... we'll get the dictionary, what is a woman?
It's not the right question. It was the right question. People get tangled up in their road. It's surgery.
Well...
And it's the medical surgery, the surgical practice. It's the thing. None of them know the reality. None of them look at what they want to actually happen all the time.
Well, one thing that I'm actually interested in doing is maybe talking to people about surgeries at a later date. In fact, if you guys know Old English, the original word for man was wereman, and wifman is the word for woman. So man is actually a universal term for man and woman. But wereman, the were part was dropped.
Werewolf, man.
Yeah, werewolf is man-wolf. And if you guys know about read Song of Ice and Fire, the Weir woods are essentially man woods, I believe. People saying bless you, Laura. James Lindsay is based. Alex has said that. Alright, we've got a few people. They're watching us. 1 second. There we go. You guys alright? Not too bad. Do you want an interview? You want an interview? Would you like an interview? Okay. So we've got a little crew that have found us. To be honest, we've had some people come in, interrupt interviews, but I've not had anyone be rude. Well, I have people. I think it's rude to interrupt the interviews. No one's been aggressive to me today. Tic Tac. I think that's. I don't think that's the main question, to be honest. I think that is. I don't know. It doesn't rub me the right way. Have they been allowed into our kids' educational system? Because it's not your kids' educational system, it's the government's indoctrination system, so it's not to do with the children. So, yeah. It's not your system. Like, if you think the government is your government, it's not. It's Her Majesty's or His Majesty's government, it's their government, not yours. They don't work for you, they work for them. They just take your money in taxation, which is state theft. Next WEF meeting, well, a lot of heat's coming on the WEF, so it's interesting. I think a lot of people are stepping away from the WEF and they're just going to use other organisations, like easy bait and switch. They can sub out. People calling them the Purple Gestapo. Yeah, but they're not being aggressive, so. That's the important thing. Oh, wait. They're bringing the police over. Here we go. 1 second. Let's get rolling with the camera. Hello there. How's it going?
How you doing? You good?
Not too bad. It's a bit muggy today.
It's very hot. I am very hot.
I do not envy you having the vest and everything.
No, definitely not, but you've got to stay safe, right? We just had a few complaints about you guys filming and stuff. Obviously filming isn't an issue. They're just a bit concerned about maybe some stuff you're saying. I don't know what's been said, so I'm just here just to speak with you, just ask what you're doing here, kind of what you're filming for, stuff like that really.
We're interviewing people today and we're publishing our interviews, just letting people know what's going on with this event. We're asking people questions. One of the questions I asked people was about one of the recent High Court rulings relating to surgery for people under the age of 18, other different factors, public interest, and this is a protest, so people come out, and I think it's, people want to express their views, they can express their views. If people don't want to speak to us, they don't have to speak to us.
That's fair enough. Obviously you can probably understand why they've spoken to us. Some people obviously might take that the wrong way or think that you're trying to cause issues. I'm not saying that you are.
Yeah, we've not been aggressive to anyone, and I was just saying no one's been aggressive to us today. A few of the purple people have come in and interrupted our interviews.
Yeah.
I find that quite rude, but at the end of the day, they have the right to talk to people. I have the right to talk to people.
They're running it, kind of looking after the whole event. Obviously, if they're having complaints of people for whatever reason, obviously they're going to come and speak to you guys, and obviously they probably don't want you here, but that's their view, that's what they want. Obviously I'm not here to say you've got to leave, because it's public space at the end of the day. All I'm going to say is obviously just be mindful of the environment you're in, and maybe in which way some questions might offend people or kind of set off the message the wrong way. Do you know what I mean? We just don't want unnecessary kind of things to be caused.
Yeah, there's been no aggression on either part today. I mean, I find it a little bit rude when people come interrupt the interviews. It's not the people who if someone says they don't want to be interviewed, I go, okay, I'll usually wish them a nice day, etc. It tends to be, I think that they've got into their heads that, I don't know, they don't they don't want me asking questions. But that's the job of a journalist. Yeah, but that's the job of a journalist.
Yeah,
you know, you've got to go, you've got to ask people questions, and it's up to people whether they want to answer or not. Unless it's sort of public servants, then you can hear public interest. But yeah, if people don't want to talk to us, they don't have to talk to
totally understand
us.
why you're here. Obviously, we're not saying you've done anything wrong. Obviously, we just got to come speak to you.
Okay.
They haven't said that you've said anything wrong. It's just for them, it's causing an issue. So
Yeah.
come speak to you. You seem alright.
Leave it here.
Yeah. Alright,
We will be dotted around if there's.
Are you going up to people, or are you kind of waiting for them to go past you before you approach them?
Oh, we're just sort of randomly picking out people, just going, oh, there's a person. Oh, hello, can I interview you?
Yeah. How long do you plan on staying here today?
I don't know. Probably head off within an hour. I don't know. Maybe we'll head off now. Should we?
I'm a bit anxious that they're following us.
Yeah, they are following us round.
Making me feel a little bit.
That's fair enough. That's understandable. Obviously, they're just trying to make sure everyone here is safe. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll hang around here. Do you mind providing your details? You don't have to.
No, thank you.
That's not a problem. I've got to ask. All right.
Right, yeah.
It's going on YouTube, is it?
Yes, you're live.
All right, lovely. Okay.
Which
all right.
side is your best side?
Oh, I don't know.
I should speak to your agent.
All right. Have a good day. All right. We'll hang around if there's issues. All right. Just let us know.
All right. All right.
See you later.
Oh man, I wish they were like that during the lockdowns. Following someone classed as intimidation, possibly. They're just over there speaking to them now. I do find it somewhat amusing that they've been chanting ACAB and then gone to the police. I'm not saying if there's some sort of attack or someone's getting violent or something like that it might not be a good idea to speak to them, but I do find that weird if there's something extremely low level which isn't a crime to go to the police about it. I got to say the police acted fairly professionally, and I would one point I would say is they have said they're there to protect people. I think that is an assumption, but apart from that, right. Would you like to head off, Charlotte? We've spoken to a lot of people here today, and now we've got a crowd on us. I don't think we're going to get to speak to anyone else. Yeah, I do think it is wasting police time. I wonder if they're going to accuse me of something else now. Should we head off? Come on, let's get rolling. Right, I think we'll leave the live stream on as we get towards the tube station, I think. Hey, it's going to be okay, come on. Come on. Let's get out of here, yeah? Come on, let's go. Come on. Okay. I know, it can be intimidating. Yeah? Come on. You'll feel better once we're out of here. Like that? Okay, I'll give you a moment. Liberalism is of Satan. I do not agree. I would not personally agree with that. Not liberalism. That is pseudo-liberalism, not liberalism. Alright. I would like to get out of here though, Laura. I do think they're just going to start throwing accusations until they find something that's serious enough that they'll harass us. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not saying they will, but I'm saying that sort of thing that you do get from some people who don't have any principles. And I don't really want to take that risk, so we're going to keep the live stream going on the way to the station. If anyone wants to ask me questions on the way, then I'll try and answer them. It's not modern liberalism, it's non-liberalism. Have a nice day, guys.
Basically where it's
Yep, true liberalism is the way forward, that's my opinion, I would agree with that.
Look ahead. It's my style. Are we leaving?
Right. Once we step away from here, do you want to get a cigarette before we go on the underground? How do we get out of here? Okay, up there. Oh, we have the black shirts over there.
Dog safe.
Oh, hello. How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
You live streaming right now?
Yes, I am.
Oh, nice.
You've grown up.
Sorry. Yeah. How are you?
Grown up.
How's it been? Nice to see you. I've literally been here for like a couple hours already.
Oh,
it's crazy. I was standing, got the best view, standing there for like 40 minutes. Like, it's quite big this.
Do you want to step away for a bit?
Yeah, definitely.
Quickly. No, but you don't want to be seen with me.
Sorry?
You don't want to be seen with me. They're following us.
Who's following?
The purple bibs.
I know I'm
Hello there.
I was doing a lot of things basically.
What is it that you're filming?
Filming the protest.
We do journalism.
Do climate change ones, kill the bill.
We cover a variety of things. We covered your rally today.
You just passed my permission.
You don't need permission in public, but if you don't want to be interviewed, you don't have to be interviewed. I don't have to film.
Sorry? I'm a freelance.
Rescue there, but the
You gonna be okay? Yeah, I'm fine. I do hope I haven't made him look, well, had him assumed to be bad by association. Right, let's head out of here.
Because normally it's the other way around.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, okay. Okay, Chip, yep. Liberalism is liberalism. I don't consider any other form of liberalism, it's just a misuse of the words. Liberalism is the political ideology of freedom.
Anyone need tickets? Bruce Springsteen, buy or sell? Buy or sell tickets?
Yeah. Okay, so let's. Do you know what? Let's go for a walk through the park because this tube station is going to be rammed. Yeah, we'll keep it running. We'll walk up to Speaker's Corner and we'll just keep it running. Anyone who wants to head off now, I don't mind. So, you know, I don't think we're going to be doing any more interviews now. Maybe, but probably not. We're just going to head off. So I'll keep it running if anyone wants to ask any questions. Very sad representation of England. People saying zombies. I think they stopped following us. So I think we're out of here. Oh no, is there some sort of big concert that we can't avoid? Oh please no. Right. Yeah, they do say that, and you really don't need permission to film in public. If you're harassing someone, so it's just a private person going about their life and you follow them round, it has to be multiple instances or like a continual thing in order for it to constitute harassment. So if you just follow a random person around with a camera, that's harassment. If you walk up to someone and you ask them whether they want to be interviewed, then they can say yes, they can say no. But you do have the right to just film in public. It's just there's a line that you don't cross really. I do find it is quite strange when people are opposing being able to give out their viewpoints. You know, of all days. You know, today is not the day. I'm like, well, when is the day? I don't understand when the day would ever be, if not the day that you have the biggest rally in the country. When else would there be a day? That doesn't really make sense at all. And I don't think they actually have an answer for that. I just think they want to shut down any interviews or discussion with people who might ask people tough questions. And I don't even think the questions were that tough. Because you know,
Very well, I couldn't have done that.
yeah, I didn't really go for super tough questions. Because I'm not trying to go for an adversarial thing here. I just want to actually expose people's views just naturally without, you know, without arguing.
If they say everything, they say it all out, don't they?
Yeah, people say everything. They will mention it all. They'll explain it all. There's no need to burrow down that deep. I think it's all on the surface. So I don't think it's that complex. I don't know what questions are meant to have made people feel uncomfortable. I mean, I feel fairly uncomfortable when police come up and ask me questions. I just don't really have to speak to them. I mean, being questioned about stuff on a camera actually, to be fair, it usually makes everyone feel a little bit uncomfortable. But people also have an opportunity to speak their mind and talk about what they're interested in. So, yeah, I'm not fantastic in front of cameras. That's why I'm usually behind it. Although I would like to be in front of the camera more. Dave, I don't think that's happening at all. But fundamentally, like, if people want to wear like weird outfits and whatnot, then they have the right to. If people want to go around pretending that men are women and women are men, then They have the right to. This is their right. Everyone's got that right. But it doesn't mean that anyone else has to accept it. And it's fundamentally, like, the law must reflect reality. It must be a map of the objective world, not a fantasy. When law enters into the realm of fantasy, that's when people start dying and people start suffering. Because if the law denies reality, then you've got dangerous situations. You know? It's how you get socialism. Socialism is fundamentally a religious denial of reality. People give up on believing in truth and objectivism and seeing how freedom, like, there's evidence in many, many countries around the world, liberalism is the thing that creates prosperity. And when you don't have that, you've got one hell of a problem. And when people deviate from that, they deviate from truth, then it's dangerous. If people deviate from the facts, you know, we talked about the age at which kids can consent to this. Well, it's interesting to look at the evidence, and I think that's down to other people to look at. Oh, thank you, Andy. Go towards Kensington. That's true, but I think I'm going to try and get to Marble Arch. Oh. And maybe take a stop on the way, because bloody hell, it's just so muggy. It's rain, but it's still so bloody hot. Oh. Oh, remembering the heavy metal guy. Yes, this was maybe his concert that he was going to. Oh, sorry. Been told to stop by the boss. People are now arguing about religion. Well, actually, one thing that I will talk about, and no one's mentioned, but I think I might talk about that, is the fact that I did some research, because I actually came down to the Pride, Pride thing that they call it, last week, and one person I interviewed was going on about intersex. So I did some research into this, and basically what they're talking about are hermaphrodites. They're talking about people who have an extra X or Y chromosome, and they were saying that these people are as populous as ginger people. And I said, well, what are you saying, within the UK or the world? Because a lot of ginger people in the UK, but there aren't that many in the whole world. You know, the percentage drops drastically. And they said both, which yeah, that's not how statistics work. That's just not the way the demographics fall. But I did some research, and actually proper true hermaphrodites, it's only about 1 in...
It's not 1 in 5,000, it's only like 0.0001%.
No, what is it?
You're more likely to get hit by lightning than to be born intersex.
It's 1 in 5,500. But I say over 5,000. It's big enough. But yeah, I read a couple of studies, and they said it was about 0.018. I think that was it. So yeah, it's just very, very rare for that to happen. But to be fair, these people are actually correct in a sort of way, that they're like, these people aren't necessarily just male or female, but it's completely abnormal. and extremely rare. They're sort of saying, it's one of those arguments, it's like if someone said, okay, how many legs do humans have? You would say 2, even though there are people born with 1 leg, people born with 0 legs, or maybe even people who are born with a 3rd leg.
Shut up.
Oh, Laura's smiling. But yeah, there are 2 genders, and there are some people who have conditions which mean they don't fit in there, but we're talking sort of 1 in over 5,000, so it's very rare. But yeah, I think that's actually an interesting case that we could actually have an interesting discussion on, like, how do those people fit in, like, because I think even Sir Edward Coke, who is a very famous lawyer that I respect in a lot of what he said, he was in Elizabethan times, but yeah, I think he even talked about this, but I don't think they fully understood it back then. Not as fit as back in the protest days. To be honest, I've got things to do. I've got a lot of stuff to do. And I keep teasing people saying that we're going to be doing an update and telling people what we're getting up to. But we will do. It's just in our own time, because we've been working on other projects, and at some point you guys are going to find out about them. I don't know if it's going to be in the next month or a few months, but you'll find out about what we've been doing and other ways that we've been fighting for freedom, other than our journalism. And I'm very proud that we've got people that we helped to, boost. I don't want to take credit from them, because they're going out, they're doing the work. But you've got people like Another Alternative, please do sub to him, Citizen Sid, plenty of other people out there doing plenty of great work. And all the people in the UFP doing great work. And even people who aren't in the UFP are still doing great work. So I'm proud of what they're doing. Okay. There we go, Speaker's Corner. Right. Shall I knock the stream on the head? Would you like to say something before we end? What was your assessment of today?
Just, I never really wanted to go to one of these things. It's a bit of a shock. Cathartic though, to see it. I've wanted to, I don't think it should have got to this point.
Okay, well, I guess that's all, folks. So long, and thanks for all the fish. Catch you guys soon. Bye.